All right, let's dive in. Today we're tackling The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy.
Ooh, a classic.
Yeah, it is. It really is. We're going to be exploring some pretty profound questions,
Yeah.
like can our minds actually influence our reality?
Mm.
Can we heal ourselves, manifest wealth,
Just by changing our thoughts.
just by changing our thoughts? Like, it sounds kind of out there.
Yeah, it does, but that's what we're here to find out.
Right. What does Murphy have to say about this stuff?
Well, what strikes me about Murphy's book is, he blends a lot of personal stories, anecdotes, with psychological insights.
Oh, interesting.
So he's not just saying think positive.
Yeah.
He's actually trying to provide a framework for understanding how our minds work
Okay.
and then offering some practical techniques to tap into that.
I like that. So from the very beginning, he poses this question of like, why do some people just seem to effortlessly achieve their goals while others struggle?
Yeah.
I feel like we've all pondered that at some point.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Like, what's that secret formula?
Yeah.
And he seems to suggest that the answer really lies in understanding the relationship between our conscious and subconscious minds.
Okay, so it's not just one thing, it's the interplay.
Yeah, there's levels to this.
Yeah.
So he uses this analogy of a ship,
Okay.
which I found really helpful. He's like, the conscious mind is the captain making decisions.
Right, steering the ship.
But the subconscious is like the engine room, carrying out those decisions, regardless of whether they're beneficial or not.
So, even if the captain's giving bad orders,
Yeah, it's just
that
good.
engine room's still going to do its thing.
You're going to do what it's told. That's kind of a scary thought.
It is.
Like, we better be careful what we're telling our inner engine room.
Absolutely. If it's taking orders from our conscious thoughts, we better make sure those thoughts are aligned with what we actually want,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's a lot of responsibility. But how do we even begin to do that?
Well, Murphy, he believes that the subconscious is really susceptible to suggestion, especially in moments when the conscious mind is relaxed. So, right before sleep.
Ah, interesting.
He calls this the sleeping technique, where you basically focus on your desired outcome as you drift off.
No.
You're essentially planting a seed in your subconscious, letting it kind of germinate overnight.
But is it really that simple? I've tried visualizing things before bed, haven't manifested $1 million overnight.
Right.
Is there more to it than just wishful thinking?
Well, Murphy really stresses that the subconscious responds more to emotions than just thoughts.
Ooh. Yeah.
So it's not enough to just, think about being wealthy. You have to cultivate the feeling of wealth.
That's interesting. I've always struggled with that, like feeling wealthy when my bank account says otherwise.
Yeah.
How do I practically apply that?
He suggests using affirmations.
Okay.
Short, powerful statements repeated regularly.
I've heard of those.
Yeah, and he gives this great example. There was an executive who really wanted to take a 9-month cruise.
Wow, 9 months.
Yeah, ambitious,
It's a dream.
So he started saying to himself every day, I have the means and the time for a 9-month cruise around the world. And he didn't just think it, he really felt it. Like he was already on that cruise experiencing it.
So he really embodied the feeling.
He did, and guess what?
Manifested it.
He did. Within a year, he was setting sail.
Well, that story makes you wonder if we limit ourselves by not believing we deserve those things.
It really does.
Like, what if we're holding ourselves back?
Yeah.
But what about those deep-seated fears and insecurities we all have?
Yeah.
Can we reprogram our subconscious to overcome those too?
Murphy argues that fear, like a lot of negative emotions, it blocks us from accessing our true potential. He talks about suggestive amnesia during exams, where students know the material but blank out due to fear.
Oh, that's happened to me.
Yeah, it's like their subconscious is saying, see, you're not good enough.
It's like self-sabotage.
Exactly.
So how do we break free from those patterns? Like, can we actually reprogram our subconscious to believe in ourselves?
Murphy suggests techniques like visualization, where you imagine yourself succeeding in that situation that triggers your fear. He gives this example of a medical student who was terrified of exams. So he started visualizing himself calmly and confidently answering questions. And you know what?
He aced them.
He aced his exams.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he was able to reprogram his subconscious to believe in his abilities.
So is the key to rewire our subconscious to align with our desired outcomes, even if those outcomes feel unrealistic right now?
It's about recognizing that the subconscious doesn't really distinguish between what's real and what's imagined.
Oh, wow.
If we can vividly imagine something, our subconscious starts working towards making it a reality.
That's powerful. Okay, so visualization. Affirmations. What about negative experiences from the past? Can our
Yeah.
subconscious hold on to those and affect us even years later?
Absolutely. He highlights the connection between unforgiveness and even physical ailments.
Really?
Yeah, he's not saying you have to condone the actions, but holding on to anger,
Right.
it hurts you more than the person you're angry at.
So it's like forgiveness is for our benefit, not necessarily the other person.
Exactly. It's about freeing yourself from that burden.
Yeah.
He offers some practical techniques for achieving genuine forgiveness,
Like what?
including sending sincere well wishes to the person who caused you harm.
Wow, that's a tough one.
It is. But he emphasizes that it's about shifting your inner state from resentment to peace.
So it's not about pretending nothing happened.
Right.
It's about changing your emotional response to it.
Yeah, taking back your power instead of letting the past dictate your feelings. So we've talked about the subconscious's power to attract wealth, overcome fears, even impact our health.
Right. Big stuff.
Big stuff. But does this power diminish as we age?
That's a good question. I mean, does our subconscious age along with our bodies?
Well, Murphy actually challenges that whole idea of aging equals decline.
Really?
He believes our subconscious mind remains ageless,
Okay.
and its potential is limitless no matter how many birthdays we've celebrated.
Wow, that's hopeful.
It is. He points to examples of individuals achieving incredible things later in life. It's about challenging those limiting beliefs we have about aging.
Yeah.
And recognizing that our minds can continue to grow and evolve throughout our lives.
So it's not about our physical age. It's about our mindset.
Exactly.
If we believe our potential declines, that becomes our reality.
It does. We're not just victims of circumstance. We have more control over our reality than we realize.
This is mind-blowing. So we're not just, at the mercy of fate.
Not all.
We can actually shape our lives.
We can. It's about becoming conscious creators.
Instead of just passive bystanders.
Exactly.
Okay, this has been a lot to take in. We've uncovered some incredible insights about the subconscious mind. But if our subconscious is always working, even when we're asleep, how do we consciously tap into that power?
That's a great question, and that's what we'll explore in the next part of our deep dive.
Stay tuned. We'll be back soon with more from the power of your subconscious mind. Welcome back to our deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind. We've been uncovering how our subconscious really shapes our reality, but how do we actually direct that power towards specific goals? Things we want to achieve.
Well, Murphy, he believes we absolutely can.
Okay, good.
He suggests that success in any area of life really begins with identifying your true passions
Okay.
and desires. Like what truly sets your soul on fire? What do you love to do so much you do it for free? Once you kind of pinpoint those core desires, then you can start aligning your subconscious mind with them.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's not about forcing yourself to achieve something you think you should want.
Right.
It's about tapping into what really motivates you deep down.
Exactly.
But how do you bridge that gap between really wanting something and actually achieving it?
Well, Murphy, he stresses the importance of clarity and conviction.
Right.
He actually shares the story about a young man who desperately wanted to be a physician, but he just didn't have the financial means. So he's working as a janitor in doctor's offices.
Oh, wow.
And he would spend his evenings visualizing himself,
No.
holding a medical diploma with his name on it.
So even though he's cleaning floors, he's picturing himself as a doctor.
Exactly.
And what happened? Did that alone get him into medical school?
Well, it wasn't magic, but his unwavering belief
Okay.
and this persistent visualization, it led him to a chance encounter
Okay. Yeah.
with a doctor who really recognized his potential and helped him achieve his dream.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is.
But it wasn't just luck, was it?
No, not at all.
It was his commitment. Like he was so focused on his vision that it opened him up to that opportunity.
Exactly. Murphy argues that when we combine clear intention with persistent action and really unshakable faith, the subconscious mind becomes this powerful force.
It can make things happen.
It can.
Okay, so let's say you have that clear vision and you're taking action. But what about relationships? Can we use these same principles to attract, loving and fulfilling connections?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Murphy actually devotes a whole chapter to this.
Oh, wow.
He argues that our thoughts and beliefs about others directly influence our interactions with them.
Right. So it's not just about finding the right people.
Yeah.
It's about being the right person.
Exactly. So if we approach people with suspicion or judgment, our subconscious is going to project that energy And we'll probably get the same back.
We attract what we put out there.
We do, but let's be honest, not everyone we encounter is going to be a ray of sunshine.
Right, that's life.
So how do we deal with those difficult people?
Yes. The ones that seem determined to make our lives harder.
Yeah, that's a great question. Murphy acknowledges that challenge. He suggests that, difficult people, they're often acting out of their own pain, their own insecurities. It's not about excusing their behavior, but it's about understanding that their negativity might stem from their own internal struggles.
I can see that. Choosing to meet their negativity with compassion rather than getting sucked into it.
Right.
But how do we do that without becoming a doormat?
He emphasizes setting healthy boundaries. Forgiveness doesn't mean tolerating bad behavior.
Right.
It's about releasing yourself
Okay.
from those negative emotions that are holding you captive.
So forgiveness is about reclaiming our power.
It is. It's an act of self-liberation. It allows you to move forward without carrying the weight of resentment.
Powerful.
It is. But it's not just about forgiving others.
Oh.
It's also about forgiving ourselves.
That can be even harder sometimes.
Yeah.
How do we let go of past mistakes, when we're haunted by those feelings? The guilt, the shame?
Well, Murphy, he provides a beautiful prayer for self-forgiveness.
Oh, wow.
It's about acknowledging your human imperfections while affirming your inherent worthiness of love and acceptance. And he encourages you to just release the burden of the past and embrace the present moment with compassion for yourself.
It's like giving yourself permission to learn from those mistakes and move on without being defined by them.
Exactly. He reminds us that we're all works in progress, constantly learning and evolving. Our past doesn't have to dictate our future.
I love that. Speaking of letting go, Murphy talks a lot about the importance of sleep.
Yes.
He believes it's not just about resting our bodies, it's about allowing our subconscious to process and heal.
He calls sleep a form of prayer, a time when our conscious minds quiet down.
Yeah.
And our subconscious minds can really do their work.
Like it can finally get down to business without all the chatter.
Exactly. And he also suggests that we can use sleep to tap into our intuition.
Oh, interesting.
Receive guidance. He encourages praying for clarity on a problem
Okay.
before going to bed, trusting that the answer might come in a dream or upon waking.
I've heard of that.
He actually shares this story about a man who couldn't find his deceased father's will. He prayed for guidance before sleep, and he woke up with this overwhelming urge to visit a specific bank.
Really?
And that's where the will was found.
Wow, that's wild. It makes you wonder what other insights and solutions might be waiting for us when we sleep.
It really does.
But what about using this power for something like healing? Can our minds really influence our physical health?
Murphy presents some really compelling stories of individuals overcoming, serious illnesses by harnessing the power of their subconscious mind.
So is he saying we can just think ourselves healthy?
He's not saying it's a replacement for traditional medicine.
Right.
But our beliefs and mental state, they play a huge role in the healing process. He emphasizes aligning your thoughts and beliefs with the idea of perfect health.
Okay.
Visualizing yourself as whole and vibrant.
So it's about shifting your mindset from I'm sick to I'm healing.
Exactly.
Believing that your body can restore itself.
He also highlights the importance of trust and surrender.
Okay.
Letting go of fear and worry, and trusting the wisdom of your body and the power of your subconscious mind to work towards healing.
This is incredible. It's like we have this untapped power within us that can help us achieve goals, improve relationships, even heal our bodies.
We do.
But how do we access it consistently? Are there specific techniques to really harness this power?
Absolutely. Murphy outlines several practical techniques in his book.
Okay.
And we'll delve into those in the final part of our deep dive.
Stay tuned as we continue to explore the fascinating world of the subconscious mind. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been on this incredible journey exploring the power of our subconscious minds. I mean, we've talked about how it influences our success, our relationships, our health even. But are there actual techniques we can use? Like, how do we intentionally direct this subconscious power? It all sounds a bit, I don't know, magical.
Well, Murphy, he does provide several practical methods in his book, and he really emphasizes that consistency is key here. It's like building a muscle. You wouldn't expect to see results from one workout.
Right.
These techniques require, practice and patience.
So it's about building new habits.
Yeah, exactly.
Not looking for a quick fix.
Not a quick fix, no.
What are some of these techniques?
Well, one we touched on earlier is the sleeping technique.
Right, planting that seed.
Yeah, so as you're drifting off to sleep, Your conscious mind is relaxed.
Hmm.
Your subconscious is more receptive to suggestions.
Okay, so that's when we whisper to the engine room,
Exactly,
when
exactly.
it's quiet.
When it's not distracted.
But how do we make those suggestions stick? Like, is it just repeating what we want in our minds?
Well, Murphy believes the key is engaging your emotions.
Okay.
It's not enough to just think, I want to be wealthy. You need to feel the feeling of wealth,
Oh,
the joy, the gratitude that comes with it.
so we have to embody that feeling.
Exactly. You have to really feel it.
It's like our subconscious speaks the language of emotion,
Yes, it does.
not logic.
Not just logic, no.
Okay, affirmations too, right? We talked about those a little bit.
Affirmations are powerful. Short, positive statements repeated regularly.
Yeah, I've tried affirmations before, I have to admit.
Yeah.
I kind of get discouraged when I don't see results immediately.
Well, and Murphy, he emphasizes that, change takes time.
Yeah, I guess so.
He compares it to planting a seed. You wouldn't dig it up every day to see if it's sprouted.
That's true. That's a good
You
point.
have to trust the process.
Okay, so faith, trust, patience.
Patience, yeah.
But what about those times when we feel stuck? Like there's a mental block,
Yeah.
preventing us from moving forward.
He talks about a technique called the argumentative method.
What's that?
It involves actually having a conversation with your subconscious mind,
Okay.
challenging those negative thoughts and beliefs that are holding you back.
So we're not suppressing them.
No, you're addressing them directly.
Oh, interesting.
It's like having a debate with yourself, presenting evidence for why those limiting beliefs are false, offering empowering alternatives.
I like that.
Yeah.
So becoming aware of those patterns and then actively choosing to change them.
Exactly. And another technique he discusses is the passing over technique.
What's that one?
It's about surrendering your problem or desire to your subconscious mind, trusting it to find the solution.
So we're not micromanaging.
No micromanaging. You're handing it off to a trusted colleague. You trust their process.
Okay.
And that trust is crucial.
Yeah, I'm seeing a theme here.
What's that?
Faith, surrender, like trusting a force greater than ourselves.
He connects that to the spiritual dimension of the subconscious. He emphasizes forgiveness for others and for ourselves as a crucial step.
Mm-hmm. Forgiveness again.
It's about freeing ourselves from that negativity to really tap into this higher power.
So clearing out the mental and emotional clutter to make room for that wisdom.
Exactly.
He also talks about living in alignment with our values.
Yes, when our actions match our beliefs, we create that inner harmony that empowers our subconscious mind.
It's about becoming the best version of ourselves.
And attracting more good into our lives.
I love that. So ultimately, Murphy's message is one of hope and empowerment.
It is, absolutely.
We have more control than we think.
We do. By understanding and working with our subconscious minds, we can create lives filled with abundance, joy, purpose.
This has been an amazing journey. I feel like I've gained a whole new understanding of myself.
The journey doesn't end here, though. Murphy's book, it's just a starting point.
Right.
The real work begins with putting these principles into practice and continuing to explore this incredible power we all have within.
We hope this deep dive has inspired you to tap into the power of your own subconscious mind and create a life you truly